of that thing and let's plant some pecan trees. Do you say pecan or do you say pecan? Here in Tennessee, we say pecan. We're going to be planting 3 different types of pecans. 2 of them are the candy pecan. The other one is the Caddo. Make sure that when you get your pecan trees from a nursery or whoever you get them from, make sure there are 2 different varieties that will cross-pollinate each other or you won't get any nuts. What we're going to do is we got to dig a hole 3 feet deep, about 2.5 feet wide, and we're going to plant this up until the original line that it was planted. That line is right here. So when we put it in the soil, our soil is going to be down here. This will be above the top. This is a grafted pecan tree, which means even though you get a candy pecan nut off of the tree and plant that, you are not guaranteed to get that nut because it's a hybrid plant. So to get that exact nut, you would have to graft the exact tree branch back onto another root to get that nut. So let's get to planting. There are a lot of differences between bare root versus container trees. The bare roots are trees that are harvested in their dormant phase during winter and should be transplanted from mid-December until early spring. Bare roots will adapt a lot quicker to their new locations. Another advantage is they have not been sitting in containers, which creates them to be root bound and causes the roots to grow in a circular pattern, which eventually will choke out the tree. Not only are they less expensive, but you can order them from a larger selection than what a nursery or box store would carry. All right, you can see we have our very deep hole. Pecans have a very long taproot, so you need to get that hole 2.5 to 3 feet deep. So what we're going to do, since the roots on this, there's not a whole lot of roots. If you do have a lot of roots and they're starting to circle around this, you want to spread them out. If they keep circling back, you might want to just trim them off a little bit because you don't want this thing, the roots, to keep growing in a circular motion and to strangle itself out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start filling this with a soil that does not have fertilizer, and then we're going to mix some of this good rich Tennessee clay back in it because it's got a lot of nutrients, and start filling this thing up. Here we go. And we are going to plant this to the soil line. You can see it right here up on this where the soil line was. That's where we're going to replant this to. Put some of this good Tennessee clay back in here. Mix it up with some of the soil. It doesn't have any fertilizer. The few roots that we have, we're going to spread them out straight. Look where our line is. And keep filling. We'll check back in when we're done. Alright, make sure when you plant this that it's straight up because you want your tree to grow straight. Once you get the soil in there, pack it down in there really good. And then we want to fill it back up to this line right here. So once you got it in there, press really good. You also want to build a moat so that when it does rain and the water runs down the hill, build your moat so that it'll collect the water that's running down the hill. The water will retain around the tree and keep the tree moist. So here's what we have to do to protect our pecan tree from the deer. We used 8-foot T-posts and then we wrapped it in chicken wire. We left about a foot at the bottom open for Mr. Behaven when he does his weed whacking. And this should protect it from the deer. Oh, the struggle is real. And don't forget to give it a cool drink of water. It'll like that. This is Miss Behaven reminding you, if you got an idea or see something you want to do, get up off of that thing. Make it happen. It'll make you feel better.